Do you believe, and they've said this, and again, we're not here to preach to anybody, but they said, everybody keeps coming back, and this girlfriend that I was with, she said, I don't believe in God. And I said, well, the counselor said, all this stuff, you'll keep coming back, but maybe would you be willing to try if you could recover? She's like, no. Blatantly, flat out, no. And my question to you, I'm going to ask you, do you think that has a lot to do with it?
What?
You believing in God?
No.
Okay. Why is that?
Because my spiritual relationship was non-existent.
So
I was so heavy into drugs that didn't exist. I wasn't even looking for an answer.
But you said that you heard his voice.
I wasn't looking for an answer.
Then okay, so
I was sitting there and he spoke to me, but I wasn't looking to God. I wasn't looking for answers. My time just wasn't up yet. And it was like my spirit had its own awakening and was like, listen before you jump. But I didn't know what I was looking for. I had no spiritual life. I had given up on God.
But you do now.
Given up on everything. Now I do. I got baptized through the whole process too.
Okay.
But for the actual recovery part, because like for most people, let me tell you this, it's hard to do it by yourself. I'm one of the few stories out there that did it by himself. No help, no guidance, nowhere to turn to. I had to figure it out by myself without a single relapse on my shoulders. That is very difficult to do. And I'm not even trying to brag about it, but it's hard. I don't recommend anyone trying to do that by themselves. You need to find someone that's already been through it. So like when my clients come to me for the recovery side or the mental health side, I have a whole arsenal of experience, personal experience and stories of what I went through from like mental health, from depression, from suicide, drug addiction, violent thoughts, violent feelings, wanting to be violent towards people. Like I went through all that.
Do you still have those feelings? Honestly.
Which part?
The violent. Anger.
In a good way.
In a good way. Okay, that's
Look,
fair.
I've made peace with my dark side.
Right.
And my dark side is 100% my ally. And I tell people, embrace your dark side for a greater purpose.
That's kind of crazy in a good way. Yeah. Right? And now I'm like, wow, okay.
But seek someone that's been through it. Like I said, I don't believe in going to therapy because, yes, if the therapist you find has been through it, was once upon a time an addict of some sort, or has been through some kind of a major mental health challenge. If they haven't, like, look, if you're going to go seek help from somebody, interview them first. They don't get to interview you. You interview them first. Make sure that they're a right fit. Make sure you're comfortable enough to speak with them, that they actually understand what your walk of life is like.
But that applies to everything like we talked about earlier.
It does, but this is so much more significant because it's your livelihood, it's your well-being. We're not talking about your success or your relationship. This is talking about your life of survival. And it has to be it has to be with people or someone that has been there, conquered it, and is actually in a very, very good place now.
And I kind of want to say, when the state gets involved, the government, they tend to fuck it up. Sorry.
Yeah, screw it up pretty bad.
Because if it's state ordered.
Yeah, you're thrown into an environment that makes you worse.
Because that person may not have been through what you've been through, and they're not qualified to tell you what they're going out of textbook theory and their
right.
Their college degree.
Correct. Now, don't get me wrong. There are programs that work for people also, but I 100% am a believer in someone that is actually directly coaching on the recovery, sobriety, and mental health spot that gives you one-on-one attention that is solely focused on you, your life, and bringing your demons back to life so you can fight them.
Man, I mean, that story is
just bone-chilling.
I don't even want to talk about my shit. I'm like, what?
But really,
no, I mean, like, I
know it's what people are going through right now.
I respect you so much more.
Drugs, alcohol, the things that people have gone through over the last couple of years. The mental health challenges that people are facing. I mean, body dysmorphia, bad eating habits, the whole fitness industry. Everything. The category of mental health is so broad and it's just not talked about enough. And the only reason why it's not talked about enough is because of this stupid stigma that's been created out there where normal people have created this judgment. They've placed a judgment on people that have these mental health challenges and automatically make people feel embarrassed, shut down, not worthy, not valuable.
I think
not good people.
Don't you think that's changing now, though? That people are like coming out saying, "Hey, I'm an addict." It's being more accepted. Like,
no, because
really?
the stigma. Because there's still the people. Because there's still the people out there that still judge on it, and then, so because of that, the stigma still exists. I don't know who I can trust and who I can't trust. And that's the other problem in society right now. You don't know who you can trust. People are backstabbing each other left and right. So if I feel confident in you to tell you, and if I'm not comfortable yet about being willing to talk about my challenges, and I somehow find trust in you, Daverick, I'm going to confide in you, and then you decide to be an asshole and go talk about, man, Sean's got problems. He's got this, he's got that.
You know why?
Somehow that makes a full circle back to me. If I wasn't in a good space, if I wasn't comfortable and confident with what my past was and is, that could cause a major meltdown and shutdown in my world.
Yeah, and I can see that, and I think it's the people that you tell that. Who am I to judge when I have issues?
Right.
I can't talk shit when I got problems. I think everybody has to realize that they have a past, a present, and current problems.
Yeah.
And nobody's perfect. And you know, your situation, my situation, you know, I can't go, "Oh, Sean's got a lot of problems." Dude, who am I to talk?
Right.
I'm messed up.
Well, look, you served in the military. You have had a lot of your challenges. You got PTSD. You fought them. I know you still have certain random things that might trigger you. What did you do to gain control of it?
You know, my father was a heroin addict. He was a hustler, a pimp. He did a lot of bad things, and he died because of it. And my grandmother was an alcoholic, but we got along great. But I saw how she treated my uncle. Now, I hope he doesn't see this, but, you know, just the way it is. I mean, she was always on him for something. My mom was always on me for something. So I had a rough childhood, but I stayed away from it because I recognized I had an addictive personality. But when I got out of the military, and in the military is when I got hit with mental health issues. I got really screwed up in the military because of the things I saw and did. And when I got out, I was a mess. I was borderline suicidal. Maybe I thought about it. And I had that voice. I had that self-talk. And I'm like, dude, there's only one of you left to bring on my last name, the family. And everybody's looking to me to be a hero, but I know I was meant to be here for a different reason. But I thought about it. Now, I didn't go through it, but there's times I came close. And I just, to this day, with my situation, with PTSD, I have to be stronger than my mind and realize I know what sets me off. I know what sets me off. If there's a fight or there's anger or people are raising and elevate that testosterone, I get aggressive.
The hostile energy.
I can't be in loud environments. If I see two guys getting into it, I'm that third dog that wants to run over there and get involved. I don't like confrontation where somebody's yelling. I have to avoid that.
Yeah.
Because I go from A to black.
Right.
But I control it. I stay neutral.
Well, because you were also Green Beret, right?
I was in the military. That's all I'm going to say at this point.
Okay.